In this video, I'm gonna tell you the exact steps to follow to become a micro-influencer and change lives at the same time. So stick around. What's up guys, welcome to another video. My name is Marian, and if this is your first time here and you want to learn more about how to get more clients, how to become an influencer, how to enroll the client into higher end packages and products and services, build an audience and all kind of cool stuff, stick around, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to make sure you get notified. Now, let's jump into the training. And today's lesson, it's all about how you can become an omnipresent influencer in your clients' life, right? Like, I want to really explain what I mean, because what I'm about to share with you doesn't represent the process of you getting some, a couple thousand followers on Instagram or subscribers on YouTube and not being able to monetize. No, I'm talking about how to become an omnipresent influencer in your clients' lives or businesses, whatever the business model that you operate in, right? So going back to session 2, and of course, session 2 is related to session 1. So if you haven't watched them, this is not gonna make sense. You want to either look below and click and watch that one, because otherwise it's gonna be hard for you to digest this, all right? So we've talked previously about how to test the content around the audiences that you are going to test. And of course, that comes into the place of you identifying your competitors and taking advantage of the huge followings that they've built, all right? So that's super, super important. So now what we got is, I'm gonna redraw. So these are the buckets that we have now, right? Like, these are the buckets with audiences. And these are the guys that told us through metrics that these audiences liked our content and the specific type of content that they liked based on the amount of money that you've spent putting this content in front of them, all right? So that's super, super important. So the way you become, think about this. Now, let's say this audience is 2,000 people. This audience, let's say it's 1,500 people. And this one, let's say it's 3,000 people, right? And this is all metrics that you've looked at the end of step 2. So now what you do, in order for you to become an influencer, now you're going to put these audiences into almost like a bucket. So in here, you can even divide it in more buckets, to be honest, and you'll do this. So now you'll have this type of capabilities, right? Let's say you'll have 25%, 50%, and 75% of watch time per audience. So for example, let's say audience number 1, you can literally show content from the audience number 1 that watched 25%, 50%, or 75% of your video. Remember, if we go back to session 1, I've told you, all right, let's test 3 to 5 different pieces of content, one being long form, the other one being 2 to 5, the other one being 1 to 2 minutes, so on and so forth. Just think about this. Let's say you have your piece of content that has 5 minutes. Let's say it that way, on average, let's say 4 or 5 minutes. Somebody, like, attention span nowadays is 4 to 5 seconds. If you can target somebody that has watched 50 to 75%, even 20% of a longer form content, but 50 and 75%, these are people that are really interested in what you have to offer, right? Like, for example, let's say we tested 3 different problem-solving content. What if now we drive people to a longer form of content where we talk about the actual biggest problem piece of content? And of course, this one can also be shown here, but this one may need, a shorter form. Since they only watch 25%, you can divide them in 2, right? Like, I don't want to complicate these things, but you can essentially do that into, a short form, short video, big problem content. So this is huge, because now you can put this in front of them through different mediums. Like, here's what I mean by that. You can do it on regular Facebook. You can do it on Instagram. You can do it on Facebook Messenger. So now, imagine this. All of these guys, all the audiences, number 1, 2, and 3, they being retargeted with, let's say, only people that watched 50% and 75%, and of course, 100% I didn't even put in here, but I guess it's obvious, but I'll put it in here just to make sure. It's rare when somebody actually watches 100%. You'll probably find, 90%, 95%, whatever. And of course, you can do the same thing with them too. So now, this is how you become a real omnipresent influencer. It's you showing your content in front of the same people. And now in this content, yes, now you can start slowly pitching. Now, when I say slowly is, you either invite them to a webinar, but I'll talk about this process more in session 4 tomorrow. But it's very important for you guys to understand the power of this and how to do it in a way that is strategically designed to position you as the influencer in, any niche, any industry, any niche, whatever you want to call it. So now you literally just show your piece of content that it's coming up now, like the big problem solving content. You put it in front of these people. But now what you have is you now have a machine, because what you do is you're just going to put more dollars into promoting this content. So picture this. I really want you to pay attention. Since now you have this in a bucket and you show them only quality content, then now you can retarget them on Facebook, you can retarget on Instagram, you can retarget on Facebook Messenger, and you can do the same thing with a video from YouTube. But of course, this would be a little bit separate here, I guess, just because on YouTube, you can still retarget, but it will be back on YouTube at this stage in the process. So just because they still haven't got on a page yet, they still haven't seen a lead magnet. You haven't asked for download anything. You haven't asked them for anything yet. This is just pure value, but it's done in a predictable way where you literally build these audiences. So now you just increase the amount of money, like from $1 a day to $5 a day to $10 a day. And since you pour more gas into this machine, now it's gonna spit more people. And of course, this is gonna get more, and this is gonna get more, and you're gonna have more people watching 75%, you're gonna have more people watching 100%, and on and on and on, right? The same thing, it'll just go in circles. So we'll have this is like a machine that is gonna keep rolling and rolling at the end, right? Like it's up, it'll be forever. Now, the first time, the reason that this is so powerful, even if you hit, what we call it ad fatigue at some point, you're just going to make a little hole in here and you're going to plug in, another audience. Let's say audience number 4, because you can slowly test other audiences in the background. Once you have all these nailed down, you can test other audiences. And if you see that somebody relates, like for example, if I have Lewis Howes, Gary Vee, and all the other guys, and I run out of, audience, now what you're gonna do is just gonna test other audiences. Amy Porterfield, Marie Forleo, right? Like, I'm just gonna keep testing the first pieces of content. When I have a winner, okay, I'll just plug it back in, boom. And now this one is just going to be, increased forever. Like, this is one of the most powerful strategies ever. Most of the people don't teach this in this way because, one, of course, it takes a little bit to practice and it takes a little bit for you to actually digest and even imagine, but now it's so much better. Like, your content is going to be so much better towards the audience, towards the ideal clientele that you want to attract, right? And you may be asking, all right, Marian, this is session 3 already, and I still haven't learned how to make money. Well, session 4, it's all about that. So make sure you pay attention to tomorrow's class, because that's going to be exactly how you're going to monetize this, right? But this is so important. That's what I spent 3 days, 3 sessions to show you this, because this is where people are getting separated. This is where, marketers will fail, or this is where people like you and me will succeed, because you'll know how to cater your message to the right audience, and you'll know how to put it in front of them in a strategic way and how you can automate this whole thing. All right? So I hope this makes some sense. Let me know in the comments what's your aha moment from this. What is exactly that you taken out of this training? What have you implemented so far? Whatever the situation may be, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments and make sure you stick around because tomorrow it's going to be a game changer. All right? I can't wait to see you there. Take care. Yo, don't go anywhere. Hit these 2 other videos because I'm gonna have so much more information to share with you, and I'm pretty sure you can get some cool, valuable, and actionable steps. So just click one of these 2 and I'll see you on the other side. Take care.